Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. This is a new presentation from www.central-mosque.com and the Humble Heart YouTube channel. This is more of a unorganized, brain dump about the recent visit of Dr. Zakir Naik in Pakistan. And before I talk about the topic of Dr. Zakir Naik and his ongoing visit to Pakistan, let me just reiterate in the next few slides. And whenever I say this, I know there's going to be negative comments and backlash, but this is the reality. And if people want to direct hate towards me, that's absolutely fine. The state of Pakistan is very security focused, national security focused. It has a lot of institutes and organizations which are involved in intelligence gathering and espionage on its own fellow citizens and also those who are outside of Pakistan. The primary organization or being which everybody knows about is Inter-Services Intelligence, ISI. The military also has military intelligence, and the Air Force Navy has its own wings. When it comes to the civilian organization, then the chief one is supposed to be Intelligence Bureau, IB. And the last time I checked, in addition to these, there are about 32 more, ranging from cybercrime, white collar crimes, accountancy discrepancies, etc., etc. The strongest one in Pakistan on the ground is the local police station, where there are informants who spy on and report on their fellow citizens, and they may do that based on national security concerns, out of patriotism, or out of blackmailing, or for monetary reasons or monetary benefits. Some of these agents are double agents, triple agents, or even work for multiple agencies throughout the world, whoever pays. The purpose of all of these organizations was to act against the forces which are opposing the state of Pakistan, with primary focus being India, and during the Cold War, and also on the ongoing work of KGB in Pakistan during the Soviet-Afghan War. However, starting from Ziaul Haq, and this kind of strengthened in the time of Ziaul Haq. It actually existed before. And what happened is Pakistan needed people to go and fight in Kashmir. Pakistan needed people to go fight in Afghanistan against the Soviet invasion. So there was a very deep penetration amongst the Pakistani scholars, the Pakistani Darul Ulooms, the Pakistani Tablighi Jamaat in particular. And let me repeat by saying, when I say there's a deep penetration, I'm not saying they're doing it out of any worldly benefit or out of any monetary reasons. A lot of these people are doing it as a patriot or as a Muslim because they want to counter the forces against Islam and the forces against Pakistan. So, unfortunately, the state, because it has such deep penetration, it tends to use people, and a lot of times people are not even aware of what purpose they're being used for. They think they're being used for, good patriotic reasons or good Islamic reasons. Moving on. There's currently a visit going on in Pakistan by Dr. Zakir Naik and Sheikh Farik Naik. It started in September. It's going to continue throughout October, and I think it's going to end towards the end of October. I've seen Dr. Zakir Naik quite a lot. I've seen him when he started out many years ago. I saw him before Peace TV, during Peace TV. I saw his programs when he was resident in India, in India and outside India. I have seen his programs since he's been exiled, elsewhere, overseas, etc. I've never seen Dr. Zakir Naik, rattled and visibly agitated. And some of the responses that he's giving, it feels like he's angry at somebody who's asking the question, etc. What's happened in Pakistan, there's a huge divide in the social media for those who are either defending Dr. Zakir Naik or opposing Dr. Zakir Naik. And some of the responses that are coming from Dr. Zakir Naik feel like they have, they're angry. They have some sort of, emotion behind it, versus usually he's pretty calm and he's pretty emotionally balanced and he actually deals with the facts. Whether you agree with his responses or not, I'm just saying, simply put his responses aside. I'm talking about his body language and I'm talking about the emotional state here. And I was wondering why that is happening. I wanted to talk about it. I wasn't sure whether he's getting old, maybe, or maybe he came to Pakistan with the wrong set of expectations, thinking that he's coming into some kind of quote unquote Islamic state where people will not ask him. By Islamic state, I don't mean Islamic state like in Khilafah or something like that, but a Muslim state where he's interacted a lot with Pakistani people, and he was expecting 250 million people to be, a representative of what his idea in his head of a Pakistani is. I didn't know. But what's come to light now is the visit of Dr. Zakir Naik was privately arranged. But this guy here, Asim Munir, who is the chief of Pakistani army, and his cronies, politicians, particularly this guy, the current Prime Minister of Pakistan, they've hijacked a private visit and they've turned it into a state affair. So the visa, Dr. Zakir Naik, he said it himself, is basically, it says he's a state guest of Pakistan. And he wanted to do certain programs. They have altered his plans. There are things that he wanted to do and he's been prevented from doing that. So there have been roadblocks in his plan. And he's been sent to programs, where, and he talked about the orphanage in Islamabad as an example. Again, he said it, that wasn't on the plan, but he went there. And then when he went there, they forced him to do certain things. So these kind of frustrations and stuff are clearly bearing out in his body language, his demeanor, and his answers. Then there are questions being planted which are sectarian in nature. People on social media are picking up his old responses, clipping them, and just playing 10-20 seconds of a longer answer, trying to portray it in the light that he's sectarian, he's this and that. And then within Pakistan, you also have foreign agents which are loyal to India, foreign agents who are loyal to CIA, foreign agents who may be loyal to Mossad or whatever. And they are trying to sow seeds in this visit. Now, what I'm surprised about is this guy right here, Dr. Moeed Pirzada. I mean, he's been talking about it in his last few vlogs, and he's talking about, and what he's doing is he's playing a montage of Dr. Zakir Naik's responses and mocking him for it. Now, this guy is pretty well informed. He left Pakistan and he's now right here somewhere in Washington, D.C. And I'm sure that he knows that what's actually happened behind the scenes, or he has the means to find out. But because, I mean, he's secular, and he actually takes swipes at Sharia and Islamic laws all the time within his vlogs. I mean, no matter how intelligent he is on political outlook and current affairs, there's clearly a streak in him where he takes an issue and he has the means to actually dig into it and find out what's happened. That basically Dr. Zakir Naik's trip was hijacked by these monsters right here. When it comes to majority of Pakistan, people of Pakistan cannot express themselves openly on social media when they're in Pakistan, but people feel and they know that this visit of Dr. Zakir Naik comes at an opportune time for the state of Pakistan, for the oppressive military of Pakistan, for the corrupt politicians of Pakistan to take attention away from what is happening in Pakistan right now, but they can't say it, right? Now, as I said, what you see in pictures and stuff, and some of these pictures are old, I'm not claiming that they are from this visit, is Dr. Zakir Naik. A lot of scholars, this is a recent picture, by the way, from Jamiatul Rashid. A lot of scholars are interacting with Dr. Zakir Naik, and I am not, once again, let me repeat, I am not saying they're sellouts. I'm not saying that they're doing this on purpose. Maybe some of these scholars are meeting Dr. Zakir Naik sincerely, because if somebody comes to Pakistan, he's a guest, and people of Pakistan are hospitable, and they'll go meet this person. The people of Pakistan can see through this deception, and they know why the state has invited him, because the genuinely popular political leader of Pakistan, Imran Khan, is in prison. Thousands are being imprisoned. People are being tortured, picked up from their houses are being broken down and stuff. And the state of Pakistan has clearly done this to take attention away. From what I know is Dr. Zakir Naik, he may not have realized before, but it's come to a point where there are roadblocks in what he wanted to do. Okay, how he wanted to conduct this, and the roadblocks being placed by the state of Pakistan, and that is one of the reasons of the visible agitation. Now, Dr. Zakir Naik, he doesn't have a PR people in his team that conduct all these affairs. He likes to do everything on his own. He's a simplistic guy, mashallah. So as I said, whether you agree with Dr. Zakir Naik or disagree, one thing I agree with Mohit Pirzada and what he's recently said in one of his vlogs is when Dr. Zakir Naik leaves Pakistan, his reputation will and credibility will be severely dented, at least, you know, for the people of Pakistan, because simplistic minded people thinking, why is he accepted a state visit? He hasn't accepted a state visit. The state hijacked the visit. Now, I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure a person like Dr. Zakir Naik must have known what's going on in Pakistan, why he chose to be a state guest under the situation where thousands are being tortured, literally tortured. Yesterday, I saw a clip, and I will just end here. There was a young man in Pakistan, and all he did was covered an event which was protesting against the policies of the government. Yesterday, in the middle of the night, the police and the paramilitary rangers, they raided his house. His dad has a beard. His sisters and his mother and everybody's terrified. They're reading Ayatul Kursi loudly. You can hear it in the camera, like the Israelis are coming for Palestinians and stuff like that. The people of Pakistan feel it. They see it, and what they see is Dr. Zakir Naik, and in their mind think that he's accepted the state visit. No, his private visit has been hijacked, and Allah Ta'ala knows best. What I do know is whatever is going to happen, this is going to have negative implications for Dr. Zakir Naik and also for Sheikh Farid Naik. And I don't know, maybe when they leave Pakistan, they will clarify this matter. Allah Ta'ala knows best. But I wanted to take the time to actually put this on a public record that Dr. Zakir Naik's visit has been hijacked by the military and being used by the military loyalists. And that's why you see certain YouTube channels and etc. promoting Dr. Zakir Naik. Now, you see the same channels years ago were saying Dr. Zakir Naik, he talks bad about taqleed, he talks bad about madhabs, and he does this and he does that. And the same channels are now promoting Dr. Zakir Naik. In fact, the Pakistani state TV is promoting Dr. Zakir Naik. The religious people who were opposed to Dr. Zakir Naik just a few years ago are now promoting Dr. Zakir Naik. Why do you see that? That's because right here, because of the penetration of the Pakistani intelligence agencies within the Islamic establishments, Islamic institutions of Pakistan. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.